is actually a case for an upgrade, not just in Persistent, but in the larger IT pack. I'll bring in Rucha, who tracks IT closely, of course, to give us perspective. Rucha, is there a case for an upgrade now in IT? You have a likely rate cut on the anvil and continuing rate cuts, hopefully. US, you have a new presidency there. What changes with regard to IT?
Right, Harsh. So, IT has been buzzing and largely look at in a defensive way, when generally Nifty IT is up in the move since last 1 month and also has outperformed the Nifty 50 index. But let me break this down into what can help IT going forward. Number one, Trump coming back to presidency in the US, likely lower tax rates will help Indian IT companies. But analysts also say that there could be more restrictions on H-1B visa employees. But remember that the reliance of these IT companies on H-1B visa employees has gone down, and therefore visa costs will be under control, which will support margins. My other point is that the Fed rate decisions, of course, the RBI meeting is happening right now and will be concluded soon, but Fed rate cut is what clients are looking at, and if Fed cuts rate soon, which most of the analysts expect, this will give room for clients to accommodate more IT spends, which will flow down to the revenue of IT companies. So second was the Fed rate decision. Third point is the positive commentary of most IT majors in the second quarter. Now remember that their IT was facing a lot of problems of conversion of deal wins into revenue, and no deal wins coming in is what clients is what IT companies were largely facing. But this is now in the past, because most of the IT companies say that clients are definitely looking forward towards spends, though discretionary spends is still to be watched out for. Lastly, banking, which is the largest segment, saw a significant improvement. Most of the IT companies reported a quarter-on-quarter growth in the banking segment, except TCS, which largely reported a flattish growth over here. So these are the four key points which are largely backing the Nifty IT, and which can also aid for the sector to move ahead in the coming months and quarters.
Right. Well, thanks, Rucha, for that. Avinash, is IT amongst your top 3 sectors now, considering the guidance that companies have been giving, good H2 expected?
Yeah, I think IT definitely is something which looks pretty attractive and a stronger candidate for re-rating. I think hopefully once we have the new president of America coming on the 20th of January, I think you're going to see a lot of traction in the order wins for most of the IT Indian companies. I think we are positive on the large cap names, primarily TCS, HCL Tech, Infosys. And I think, looking at the company's balance sheets, I think once order wins become little more evident, you're going to see a lot of re-rating, because these counters are still trading at tough valuations. A fair level of, I think, attractiveness, in the sense that, the cash as well as the dividends are not only attractive, the valuations also are in comfort. So I think, somebody who wants to take a contra call as of now, because clearly, we've seen moderation in earnings for a very long time. So I think once you see Q3 and maybe the first quarter, outlook from these companies, you could see a little bit of re-rating. But clearly, I think you'll have to wait and watch out for what happens on the US economy side. But definitely, order wins are something which I think the markets are looking forward to. And I think in the large cap, the space is also less volatile. So that gives a good opportunity to add these current stocks in your portfolio.
Okay, constructive. Surely, Avinash, on the Nifty IT pack. The IT pack is up and away in trade, driving the Nifty higher as well. IT and banks, and what a surge we've seen on the Nifty 50. But time to slip into a very short break. On the other side, we bring you the remaining themes that we still are yet to discuss. And we'll also bring you a conversation with Sanjeev Asthana, who's the CEO at Patanjali Foods. Interesting one. Stay tuned.